internship opportunities as well. So I just gave a very brief what is Py-Volution. I'll request my another CMO of our company, Shonali Shah, to proceed further. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Python workshop of Py-Volution. I am Swarnali Shah, CMO of Py-Volution. Did you know the fact that the core of PUBG is created with Python? Isn't that a very interesting fact? So, are you excited for today's event? If you are excited for today's event, then please comment yes or simply Y in the chat box. Come on, let's comment. Please comment yes or simply Y in the chat box if you are interested, if you are excited for today's event. Okay, we have got our first response. Let me check the chat box. Yes, Jigisha Banerjee is saying yes, she is excited. And what about others? And Team Py-Volution is super excited to conduct a workshop. This is our very first workshop of Python with IEM and UEM. Come on, students, what about the others?
I guess এখানে সবাই আছে, প্লিজ তোরা একটু রেসপন্ড কর, কাজ দেখ তোরা রেসপন্ড করলে আমাদেরও ভালো লাগবে, ইন্টারাকশন করতে আরো ভালো হবে, ইনফ্যাক্ট আমাদের রিলেশনটা আরো বেটার হবে। সো প্লিজ ভাই রেসপন্ড কর, না যে আমাদেরকে ভয় পেয়ে রেসপন্ড করবি না সেরকম কোনো ব্যাপার নেই। ওই জাস্ট সিনিয়র্স, আমরা থার্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি এই মুহূর্তে, আর কিছুদিন পরে আমরা পাস আউট হয়ে যাবো। সো প্লিজ ইউ ক্যান রেসপন্ড। ইস্যু প্লিজ তোরা একটু ইয়েস লেখ, তাহলে আমাদের মোটিভেশনটা বাড়বে পড়ানোর।
Exactly.
Don't feel shy, guys. Don't feel shy. Respond.
Oh, Indrila bolche yes, she is also excited. Okay. What about Ritisha, Megha, and Brotin Bhattacharya? We have also with here Ognibo. What about you guys? Okay. I guess সবাই লাগে এখানে chat box find করতে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে। Okay, সবাই yes বলে দিয়েছে। Okay, so we all are excited for today's event. Okay, coming back to the event, now let's see the overview of what you will be learning in today's workshop. Let's see. First of all, how computers and programming languages work. Then, what is Python and why Python in spite of having so many other programming languages? Uses of Python, companies supporting and using Python, some of the famous frameworks and modules of Python, setting up the developer environment, variables, booleans, conditionals, loops, functions, lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, built-ins. So these were some of the very basic things of Python. And at last, but not the least, an interactive quiz. Okay, so now I would request Miss Sriparna Roy to give you the insights about this quiz. Thank you.
A very good evening to all of you. Let's move on to the quiz part. About the quiz, we have 15 MCQ questions. Question will be displayed on the screen along with their options. You may have to write the question along with the option on a piece of paper. Now you have to, how you will submit. A Google form will be provided to you. You have to submit the answer within 3 minutes. For the winners, the top 5 students are those who submit the least time and achieves the most marks. Their pictures will be on the official poster of Py-Volution and in the Facebook page of Py-Volution also. They will get a 10% discount in industrial training. Now I would like to request Trisha Gupta to continue.
Thank you, Sriparna. Hello, everyone. This is Trisha Gupta, Marketing Manager at Py-Volution. Do you know that Py-Volution is in collaboration with MHRD, Government of India, IIC TMSL, and Campus Pro that is going to provide internship at a very minimum cost. The internship program will be conducted through live sessions and internship certificates will also be provided. And I think this is the best chance for you all to grab this offer. So please respond if you are interested. Now I would like to request Swarnali to continue with the same.
Thank you, Trisha. So this is about the live online industrial training that is provided by our experts. So those experts are your instructors in Py-Volution. For Python, the instructor is Mr. Subhodeep Sarkar. For Ruby, the instructor is Mr. Saurabh Goswami. Okay, so there will be 2 live classes per week, each of 2 hours, and eight total classes per month. So the registration fees is very minimum, only 500 rupees, and this is only one-time payment. All right. So after this industrial training, you will get a certificate also, which you can link with your resume so that you can show it to the respective companies at placement times. Okay, so seats are getting filled really soon. The seats have already get it started filled. So I request everyone, whoever it is interested, the link has already been provided in the chat box about the website of Py-Volution. You can check it out, all the details of this live online industrial training at the website. And our company has also been collaborated with Campus Pro, so you can readily get the internship opportunities. So you do not need to worry about the work experience, because Py-Volution not only teaches you the programming language but also gives you the opportunities so that you can have some experience while doing internships. Okay, thank you.
Now, I guess introduction is enough. The actual content, and all of my colleagues, my fellow colleagues, have explained of joining Py-Volution, but still, I'll just give a summary of it. আর আমি ইংলিশ বাংলা মিশিয়ে বলবো যাতে কি তোরা আনকমফোর্টেবল ফিল না করিস। এই জন্য না যাতে মানে কি বলতো, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি সামটাইমস ওয়েন উই স্পিক ইংলিশ, বেসিক্যালি অনেকে আছে যারা কিনা বিলঙ্গিংনেসটা ফিল করতে পারে না, যাতে কি তোরা আমাদেরকে আরো লাইক বেটার ভাবে রিলাই করতে পারিস বেসিক্যালি। দিস ইজ রিজন। আচ্ছা, সিদ্ধার্থ একটু মেন কন্টেন্টে ফোকাস কর ভাই। থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ। দেখা যাচ্ছে কেউ একজন বল ভাই।
Yes,
Yes.
so visible. Right.
Okay, okay. So, hi there. I'm Subhodeep Sarkar. I'm the CEO and founder of Py-Volution. And today we are here to learn about the Python programming language, the use of Python programming languages, some implementations, and some of the core concepts of Python. And today we'll be learning about the areas, the key areas that Python is actually used, what are the reasons of using Python, and why Python is sometimes advantageous to you in many cases, and when you should and should not use Python, because programming language has its own pros and cons. You cannot agree that a programming language is perfect. If it was the case, then there would be no programming languages other than Python. So every programming language has its pros and cons side. And most of you, I guess, know the bad side of Python, which is slowness. So yeah, Python is incredibly slow. That is a thing. But also, due to the rapid development of the hardware infrastructure of computers, like for example, in last 10 years ago, 10 years ago, your processors were a lot slower as compared of today, right? Today processors are of Intel i9, there are AMD Ryzen processors. The OS are optimized, and thus they give you a boost in performance. So you do not have to worry about speed a lot. And of course, there are some of the time specific applications where you need to care about time, but there are also applications where you actually care less about the time and more about how the work is done. So that's where Python comes in. You have a deadline that you have to make a big project within 10 days, and you only know C, C++ or Java. Unfortunately, you will take a lot of time. And I'm not criticizing those languages. Of course, they have their own pros and cons, just like I said. Python allows you to develop your projects much more rapidly as compared to many other languages. And for example, if you know C, of course, C is much, in fact, 100 times faster than Python. We can agree on that. In C, 100 lines of code you have to write, but in Python you have to write 10 lines to do the same thing. And I'm not taking efficiency into the account because I told you that the hardware is developing faster and faster. So you care less and less about the time. And what are the other benefits of Python? Because once you learn Python, you can actually jump on to many areas, many core areas of computer science, and not only computer science. You can also jump onto the areas of data science, machine learning, embedded electronics. In fact, NASA also uses Python, and they're also currently powering the Python Foundation. Basically, when you go to the python.org, that is called the Python Software Foundation (PSF). So currently NASA, and in fact Elon Musk is also PSF, and not only that, Google is also supporting Python. If you have ever seen, or if you don't know, that's perfectly fine. Called Google Colab, where you can do all the data science and machine learning things. It's like Jupyter Notebook. If you have ever used Jupyter Notebook, you may know that Jupyter Notebook, in there are sections where you can write the code. You can start the code, stop the code, and so you get that in Google's infrastructure itself. So basically, that clearly represents that Google is supporting the Python Foundation, right? So of course, when there is a big company behind your back, that means reliability and efficiency and more support. So till now, am I clear? Anyone have any problem, or are you enjoying the session? Please, you can open your mic and say. Or if you have any doubts, or if everything is clear, you can open your mic and say yes, so that I can move forward and I can start
Yes.
how compilers. Okay. Anyone else?
Guys, please
Banerjee?
respond. Guys,
Anyone
respond.
other than Jigisha Banerjee? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. But please don't be shy, guys, because you know what? Let's interact, because without interaction, there is no learning. Because I'm telling you this thing, that learning is not spectator sports. It is not about just sitting and watching me speaking things. That won't help. You have to interact with me in order to learn. You have to take notes. You have to keep things in mind. You have to work with it. You have to type in real time to learn. You cannot simply learn by sitting and watching the videos. It won't work. So please respond, guys. I want response from you. We have Arunavo, we have Agnivo, we have Rishita, we have Meghashri, but no one is saying anything. Why?
Okay, as I can see in the chat box, Meghashri just, yeah, he asked for the meeting link. Okay, what about the others? Here are so many students present. Guys, respond. See, to make this workshop more interesting, I think you need to respond. Otherwise, you will not get the interest. Many people are here. Indrila, Meghashri, Jigisha, Rishita, Arunava, Shagnik. I think please respond, guys.
Yes, I guess they are not yet comfortable with us, so that's okay. I guess
Yes.
we should move on. Let's get started with our first topic: how computers and programming languages work. So first of all, why do we need programming language? If anyone can answer that, you can answer that. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8.
You
The
can
question
also
is,
use the chat box. Okay. You
yep,
can also use the chat box, students, if you want.
yep, you can use this chat box, and you have to answer whatever you think you should. Like for example,
Oh,
how programming languages work. Please answer. Like you have 10 seconds. Come on, guys. Come on.
okay. As I can see, Meghoshi Moitra asks that will you make a record of this meeting? Uh,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Google Drive link will be provided to you guys.
you can see
I
it there,
guess
but I think you should also be present in this meeting also. Yeah, a record will be done.
Actually, we are
Sure.
conducting this workshop, and we record this workshop and we share in this our YouTube channel, and link will be provided by us. So please
Of course,
respond,
link will be
guys.
provided, but you have to present. You have to be present because that is the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So okay, no one answered. So let's move on. Why do we need a programming language? Well, we need a programming language to interact with the computer because computer do not understand English language. Interesting thing is computer also do not understand these different, print and all these things. Computer do not understand them, at least not directly, because computer understand only two things: high and low, high voltage and low voltage. So basically, you represent high voltage by 1 and low voltage by 0. So this is the reason people tell you that I'm sorry, computer only understand binary, that is 0 and 1. So 0 is for off, 1 is for on, or you can also think like that. 1 is for high and 0 is for low. Anything. So you will ask me, if computers understand 0 and 1, why are we using programming languages? Well, because one example. So let's say in the near future, let's say in 2077 or let's say in 3050, a device is invented which can communicate between birds and humans. So let's say a bird is sitting in front of you in the tree and it is chirping, but you cannot understand anything. And you're saying something which the bird can need something between them, something in between them to relay. Right. This is the reason we need programming languages. We cannot directly interact with the computer using zeros and ones. Although scientists in the very, very early times of computer used to write things in machine language itself. So they had a lot of patience. But nowadays, due to we all have 24 hours in our hand, we are solving complex projects where we have to think more on how to solve the problem, and less on how the things will be organized, how the things will be understood by the computer. So this is the reason we need a programming language. How does this programming language actually gets converted into machine language? So this is done by something called the compiler or the interpreter. Or interpreter are the language processors. So language processors mean you're writing something in plain English, because languages like Ruby and Python, they focus much more on reliability and I'm sorry, not reliability, it's not readability. I just told you that computers cannot understand human languages, so it cannot understand English, right? Now these things will be broken down into machine code. How is that happening? Compilers and interpreters. So compilers are the language processors, which basically, let's say you wrote 100 lines of code. It reads 100 lines of code at one go. So basically, you have written 100 lines. A compiler reads 100 lines at once, and then it converts the whole thing into machine code. Of the process of conversion of machine language, of programming language into machine language is called compilation. If you have written codes in your some other code editor with C or C++ or Java even, there is a compilation and there is then execution. So there are two steps: compilation, then execution. Clicked or hit F9, it was, I guess, in Turbo C++ to compile. Have you ever heard of that? Compilation. And then you have to execute. So build and run. Remember this process. Who remembers it? Say it in the chat box. Have you ever seen the two processes? Okay. Jigisha has seen. And anyone else? So responding right now.
What about others? Please respond.
Okay, Megashri also responded. Yes, sir. Okay. And once again, I am not a sir. We are not sirs. We are your seniors. You can call me Dada, Bhaiya, whatever you like. But please don't call us sir, because actually that embarrasses us a lot. Anyways, so let's continue. So this is the compiler. Compiler reads the whole code, then converts it into machine language. So there are two steps: compiling, then executing. Compiles, then it executes. This is compiler. And when it comes to interpreter, interpreting languages do not take any compilation time because they are interpreted. Now, what do we mean by an interpreter? First of all, Python is an interpreted language, and what do we mean by that? We mean that 100 lines of code. What a Python interpreter does is that it reads one line, it into machine code and executes it. Right. And then the next line is been read, then converted into machine code and immediately executed. So it reads line by line instead of reading the whole thing at one go. This is called interpretation. So there is no separate compilation and execution time. What happens is in real time, you write the code, you hit enter, it gets executed. That's it. It immediately gets converted into machine code and it is executed. So this is the process of interpretation. Am I clear? I hope you guys already knew the difference between a compilation and interpretation, but I just give a revision. So now am I clear? Jigisha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what is Python? Python is a dynamically typed interpreted language. What is dynamically typed? So basically, there are two types of languages: static type and dynamic type. So static type means you have to declare that variables are of this type. So for example, when you are writing in C, you have to declare that it is of type integer or it is of type character. If you are having any variable, you have to declare it is of float type, double type, it is of character type. So this is called static typing. Okay, but Python, JavaScript, they do not have any types. At least you don't have to declare the types. Determined by the interpreter at the runtime itself. So basically, if I say a equals to hello world, and I run it, determines that the type of a is string. You do not need to say that string a, then you have to write something. It's not like that. So basically, this is called dynamic typing. Mention the types of the variables or the arrays or any data types, basically. And interpretation, I already told you, reads one by one line and then executes it immediately. It's a dynamically typed interpreted language. Rudra?
Yes, Subhodeep.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, sure. You're audible. Acha, please repeat once. Megashree's had some problem.
Okay, dynamically typed. I'm showing you an example basically. This is dynamically typed. This is the C code I'm writing in the chat. Please look at it. So if I say like something like this, static type. But if I say something like a equals to, I didn't declare in Python. So if I say directly something like this, hello. So this is the Python code. And this is a C code, okay? In C, you have to declare the types. And you do not have to declare a type. It automatically detects the type of the variable. A equals to hello. When you hit run, Python will automatically determine that A is a string type. Am I clear, Meghashri? Meghashri, please respond.
What
Or
about
you can
the
open the
others?
mic. Okay. Yes. Now
What
this
about
is
the
clear. Okay.
others?
Yeah, the rest of the people are not responding. Oindrila Chatterjee. You can say.
Only two students are responding. What about the others? Try to respond.
বাকিরা নিজের ডাউটস কোয়ারিজ জিজ্ঞেস করতে একদম হেজিটেট করবে না, যখনই লাইক যেই পোরশনে যেই জায়গায় বুঝতে পারবে না ইমিডিয়েটলি ask the instructor. Okay, no
Our
problem, please
instructor
do not
just now said, say bhaiya or bhai. It's friendly type. Respond, guys.
Yep, you can respond to basically. Okay, anyways, let's move on to the next topic, which is why Python. So once again, I have already told, but I'm just repeating it in brief, in the most brief way possible. It is one of the vast language in as of 2021. It is hugely used in various domains. So it is very diversified. Python is being used in AI, machine learning, data science, web development, networking, embedded electronics. I mean, also Android development. Although they are not that good, but still it is being used. So tell me the area where Python is not used. Of course, there are system programming where Python is not used because of the reason that Python is first of all dynamically typed, very slow. This is the reason Python is not used in system programming. Other than that, it is used all over the places, all over the world. Big companies. Not only that, there are so many great frameworks of Python. Being a web developer myself, I can say that there are two frameworks, Django and Flask. You do the task which you could have done with the help of some other language, PHP or some other language, but it would have taken a lot of time. Saves a lot of time because it comes, its motto is that battery is built in, battery is plugged in. So why this term? That it comes with a lot of tools inside. Similarly, it is similar like Ruby on Rails. There is Saurabh Da with us. He's a Ruby on Rails developer and he's a senior developer. He has worked with Ruby on Rails, and Django and Ruby on Rails are quite similar. They both have built-in tools for better integration and to do things as early as possible. So let's say a client comes to you and it says, "I want this huge project within 7 days time." What are you going to do? Are you going to use PHP? You need to use something advantageous, which actually works according to you, which helps you achieve the same thing in the shortest amount of time possible. And if you do not like batteries included philosophy, that you want to build everything from your own scratch, you can use Flask for that purpose, because with the help of Flask, already predefined sets like you have to do this, you have to do that. There are no predefined rules. You build everything from scratch. And similar to Flask is Node.js. If you have ever heard of that, Node.js also helps you from scratch. So now, what are the uses of Python? I already told you the domains of Python. Very important. Okay, a company is supporting and using Python. So Python is being used by a tons of companies. For example, Instagram uses Python, Spotify uses Python. In fact, Netflix, which you guys I hope see and watch sometimes, because that is one of the most favorable place to go when we are tired and bored. Netflix, Spotify, and all these different companies use Python as a major portion of their company. In fact, Google, which is one of the biggest IT company, also uses Python for scripting purposes and many other purposes and machine learning. Python also helps at data analysis. So all the companies which are being opened right now, all the startups you see, use Python for data analysis. Alternatives like R and there are also other alternatives, but they are not as popular as Python as of 2021. So can anyone say why Python was built? Did anyone ask himself or herself this question? Why Python was built? Was Python built for data science, AI, or why was Python built in general? Can you say me in the chat? At least, and say that's not a problem. Can you say it, please, guys?
Try to respond, guys.
And it can be anything.
Sir,
It can
because
be
this is
simple
very
as hell.
simple.
Yeah, of course, it is simple. I'm asking the reason, like why it was created. Anything you can say anything. I don't have a
Just try,
problem with
just
that.
try, guys. Just try. Just have a try.
Java, I'm not very good for data analysis. Okay, anyone else? That's a reasonable answer. Okay. Okay, so the question is why Python was created. C++ Java not that great for data analysis, and Jigisha said for simplicity, for the purpose of simplicity. Okay. Please closer to the answer, and Meghashri, you have a reasonable answer. Anyone else? Well, IEM is IEM and UEM are big colleges. Guys, come on, say. I know you guys know.
Come on, don't feel shy. Please reply.
Okay, no one. Uh, basically, Python was created to teach programming to kids. This was the reason behind Python. But as the time went, people understood its importance and the application. In the diverse application of Python. Python became popular, and yeah, Python is a very old language. If you guys do not know, or if you guys thinking that, well, this is trending right now, language, you guys are wrong, because Python is a very old language. and it has gained popularity recently in this decade only, although it is very, very old, at least 3 decades. So now some of the famous frameworks and modules of Python. So first of all, coming to Django, the heavy web framework, heavy because it comes with a lot of built-in things. Micro web framework because it does not come with anything. Then comes Tkinter. Tkinter is basically, or some people like to call it Kinter, just Kinter. I call it Tkinter. So basically, Tkinter is a GUI library. GUI is a graphical user interface for building desktop applications. So, for example, you're using browser, you're using some music player, you're using calculator. See it, and you can interact with it visually with your mouse and keyboard. So these are the things. These are the things called desktop applications, and you can build desktop applications with the help of Tkinter. There are other good alternatives for Tkinter. For example, there is Py. There is something called PyGUI, and there is an open. No, it was PyQt5. There was, and there are many other alternatives right now. In fact, nowadays, to build the modern graphical user interfaces, what people are doing is that they are building the front end with the help of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and they are just binding it with the Python logic in the backend. So you can do it using EEL.js. It is a JavaScript library, but basically it is used for connecting with Python. You can use it. So these are some of the things for desktop development. Now coming to numerical analysis, of course, NumPy is the first one. NumPy means numerical Python, and it will help you to do all your scientific and numerical operations with Python as fast as possible, because NumPy is a great library for calculation and data analysis stuffs. I have used it personally and I loved it. There is pandas which you can use to solve your daily problems, and I will show you one of the examples using pandas. It's a great example. I'll show you definitely. I called scientific Python. It is also used for numerical purposes and some scientific calculations. So these are some of the libraries. And other than these, there are some of the other things called Iron Python. You have heard that, but they are not the libraries. They are implementations, and I'm coming to them just a little bit. Okay. Along with these, just a second.
So,
Okay, so what I was, yeah. Continue, Sikriti, please continue.
uh, so everyone is getting interested. The students present over here.
Yes.
Others? Only Jigisha said yes. Others? Okay, Meenakshi said yes. Thank you. Wendrila, many more are present here, right? So you can see Shagnik, Shreya. What about them? Yes.
KK
Okay.
certificate.
Another thing I also want to tell, don't tell me, ma'am. As Shubhadeep, matlab, our CEO told that he is a founder, and I am also a student of third year BCA. So don't call us ma'am or sir. You can call us by name also. You don't need to call by sir or ma'am. Preeti Singh
Okay,
told yes. Okay, Shubhadeep,
Shid,
please now continue. Yes.
yeah, Siddhartha was saying something about the certification. Please, Siddhartha, please continue.
Okay.
Okay, so how many of you registered for the certificates? Please respond, guys. It is important for your certificates. If you don't respond, that then how can we identify that you are registered for the certificates?
You can also write in the chat box that who have registered for the certificates. Kindly responded, guys.
Okay, no problem. If you are not, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Meghashri, you can pay it today.
yeah. There is a Google form which is shared by Bonita Paul, our colleague. Uh, you can find their UPI, and you can pay it by today. You have to pay it by today, because from tomorrow we have to start the making our certificates. So please pay it by today. Yeah. And how many of you, please? Yeah. So how many of you are not fill up the form and still you are paid your fee? for certificate? Please respond. This is very, very, very important. How many of you didn't fill the form and still you pay for the certificate? Okay, everyone is fill the form. So please, Subhodeep, continue.
Yeah, okay. So I was explaining the different libraries of Python. Now, if I'm talking about libraries, I think I should talk about embedded electronics a little bit. So there are two languages called Circuit Python and MicroPython, which you can use to do some IoT projects, cool IoT projects. Not only IoT, you can do it for embedded electronics things. You can build your own cool gadgets using Python. Because you guys think, or most of you think, that Python is only for software development. No, it is not. It is absolutely not. If you have ever seen Arduino, with Arduino or some of the related things like ESP8266 module, you may have used C or C++ or maybe some other language, but you can do the same thing with the help of Python. Python, it is 99% Python, and you can do it with the help of Circuit Python and MicroPython. So why two languages? Because MicroPython is not open source. However, Circuit Python is open source, entirely open source. You can buy a Pi board, or you can do it using your own existing Arduino or something else. However, you can just use any of them. Okay. Now coming to another language, it is called Python. Now there are a lot of confusions regarding CPython and Python. I'm just explaining that CPython is the name of the Python interpreter. It is the standard interpreter. Of course, there are some of the other implementations and interpreters of Python. So there are some of the other interpreters like PyPy, and there is IronPython, there is Jython. So these are different interpreters and compilers of Python, which are actually sometimes faster than CPython. The general version you get from the website after downloading Python is the CPython interpreter. It is called CPython because the interpreter has been built using C language. This is the reason it is called CPython. And there are some of the issues with CPython, and I will not explain them right now because it is not inside the scope of today's workshop. So I'm not going into detail. And there are some of the other implementations such as PyPy. So basically, PyPy is a funny name, but this interpreter has been built with Python itself for executing Python code. Now that is irony. Basically, Python has been executed using Python. There are IronPython. IronPython has been built with the help of .NET. It is a .NET implementation. And Jython, of course, it is a Java implementation. You guys can, assume, you guys could have guessed it. Coming to Python. Python is a Python-like programming languages with few differences, which can run, as fast as C. Not completely like C, but it will be, just 1 or 2 times slower than C. It is that much faster. Because the slowness is a built-in property of Python, especially when you are working with CPython interpreter. To avoid that, you can use Python, which is another programming language, just like Python, for overcoming this limitation. So this is Python. So I hope there is no more confusion between Python and CPython. So Python is the programming language. IronPython, Jython, PyPy, and CPython are the interpreter. Am I clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kriti.
Any questions?
Now,
Any questions?
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any doubts regarding CPython, IronPython, Jython, or something like that. Okay, no one. Okay, now setting up of the developer environment. Now, when you are just learning Python, I would suggest you to install Python from its official website. Although you can also download Python from your Microsoft Store if you are using Windows 10, but I don't recommend that because it is not always updated. So in order to install the latest version of Python, you can visit python.org. I'm repeating, to download the latest version of Python and use it. Not only that, you may ask like, what IDEs should I use or what code editors should I use? Examples. There are a lot of examples. I'm not going to do that. But one of the best IDEs I've used two, and the second is VS Code. Use PyCharm if you have a lot of RAM. Otherwise, I don't recommend it, because although it comes with a lot of things, lot of features, really heavy. So if you are falling short of RAM, please don't use it. Otherwise, your computer will hang a lot. And the next thing is that VS Code. So the advantage of VS Code is that you can download one IDE and you can run so many things, like VS Code. If you have VS Code in your computer, you can run C, C++, Java, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, whatever you want to run. VS Code itself. That is the power of VS Code. So VS Code, PyCharm. You can also use Sublime Text. Although Sublime Text has a problem with it. That is, it does not come with terminal. You have to open your own terminal and have to work. That is the only problem with Sublime Text. And the another advantage of using VS Code is that it comes with a lot of themes and style. All the styles are there. You can customize it as much as you want to. Asked a question: how to execute a Python problem in VS Code? All right. First of all, Meghashri, what you have to do is that download VS Code from its official website. Then what you have to do is that in the left corner or in the right corner, you will find a button called extensions. When you go to extensions, you have to download the Python extension for VS Code. Also, you have to make sure that you have the Python interpreter, which can be downloaded from the Python's official website itself. Just right now I told. So make sure you have these two things: the extension for Python itself. Then VS Code will automatically detect the Python interpreter. And then after writing the code, once you hit run, it will be run. Am I clear, Meghashri? Yes, I have downloaded, but it cannot execute the code. Okay, Meghashri, cannot execute the code. Okay, so you have downloaded the extension as well as the interpreter, right? Okay, so I think there is trouble with VS Code. It cannot find the interpreter automatically. I'll help you definitely. Can you please provide me the your email address so that I can contact you later on? Okay. Swarnali, can you please take note of that email address? I will contact you later on.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Anyone else is facing the same issue like Meghashri? You can tell me right now. Like you cannot execute the code or something like that. You are happening something like that. If you contact on WhatsApp, that's better. So actually, there are a lot of people here. So due to privacy
Sir,
policies,
can I use Jupyter Notebook?
yeah, of course you can use Jupyter Notebook. Of course, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Just a second. So okay, you please don't provide your WhatsApp number right now, because there are a lot of people and you may have trouble later on. So I am providing my WhatsApp number. You can contact me. This is my number. You can contact me anytime. Is that okay, Meghashri? Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, coming to Jupyter Notebook. If you are a data science guy, or if you want to see how your code works bit by bit, you can use Jupyter Notebooks. You can see the installation process from the Jupyter's official website itself. You can very simply, in a very simple way. So you can just check out that website. You can. Jigisha is also providing the email. Jigisha, you are having problem? Jigisha, you can open your mic and say.
No, sir.
Okay. Shonali is taking note both of your email addresses, and we will contact you later. Thank you. Jupyter Notebooks are especially helpful when you're doing some data science job, or you're doing some machine learning or artificial intelligence things. This will help you a lot. And also, when you are learning Python, let's say you have written some 10 lines of code, and you have the doubt that you will forget what this code does after a while. So you can use Jupyter. Although I personally don't recommend Jupyter Notebook because it is heavy, and I don't prefer Jupyter Notebook, but of course you can use it. Jupyter Notebook is very, very helpful for beginners especially, and for data science projects. In fact, you can use Jupyter notebooks to present your code to others because it formats your codes in a very nice way. Now, these are some of the things. You can also download Anaconda. Jigisha, you can also download Anaconda because Anaconda actually all the basic requirements for data science, for example, Jupyter notebook and some of the other stuffs by default. So you can just download Anaconda. It is very easy to set up. You can just download it. Okay, now, so we are done with this. Now I'm going to demonstrate some of the projects before moving on to the basic stuffs. So Siddhartha, how much time do we have left?
We have 30 to 35 minutes. You can
We have 30 to 35 minutes. Okay.
you can extend it for 40 minutes. That's absolutely fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So now I'm going to demonstrate some of the projects which can be done with the help of Python. Of course, I'm not going to bore with the implementation and the code. Do the usability. Okay. Now I'm sharing my screen, and please respond if you can see me. If you can see my screen. Okay. I'm presenting right now. Please, anyone of my team, please respond if you can see my screen.
No, we can't.
Okay.
Yes, now it's visible.
Yes,
Okay, thank you
Subhodeep
so
is now
much.
Yes,
visible.
sir, visible.
It's working
Okay,
right
okay,
now.
thank you. Okay, so now here is one of the example. I'm going to show you what's happening here. So it can predict if it is a dog or a cat with the help of an image. So let's take an example. So I have downloaded 2 pictures. This is the cat, right? You guys can see it. Now, can this algorithm predict that this is a cat? Let's check it out. Predict. I have hit predict. Let's wait for a moment and let's see if it can detect if it is cat or not. Okay, so here you can see that it has successfully predicted that it is a cat. Am I clear? Now let's check if it can detect a dog. So dog.jpg. Okay, so this is a dog, and let's hit predict. So you can see the prediction system is working perfectly fine. So this is one of the example of machine learning. And since I am running short on time, I do not have a lot of time to show you many more examples, of course. Now, being a web developer, my job is to show you what are the things you can do with the help of Python in case of web development. And not only that, you can also provide the image link here, and you can hit collect image, and it will then collect it, and then you can hit predict, it will do the same thing. Am I clear, guys?
Any questions regarding this?
Anyone have any questions? You can ask me. No one. Okay, are you guys enjoying the session, by the way? Mehashri, Kriti, Jigisha, are you guys enjoying?
Yes, sir, enjoying.
Okay.
What
Great.
about the others? What about the
Oindrila.
others?
Is responding actually. Okay, Oindrila said yes. That's great.
That's great, yeah.
Now let's jump on to some Django projects which I have built, and it is not highly stylized because I just wanted to show you. So I didn't made any CSS and some of the styling things, the basic functionalities. So let's get started. And Siddhartha, is my screen lagging or freezing, or it is visible in real time?
It's perfectly visible.
It's perfect.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
perfect.
Okay. So this is how we run the server. This is a Django server running. It takes a time in Windows actually. This is the reason I recommend everybody to use Linux once you get familiar with computers, because you guys in the first year Once you gain enough experience, please move on to Linux for better usability. Because when you are becoming a developer, you're rarely going to use Windows actually. And Shoradha will definitely explain about it later on.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, till the server is running, Shoradha, can you please explain why you should use Linux instead of Windows in brief lines, please?
Yeah, so in Linux, Linux is quite faster than Windows. Windows is very, very slow, and Windows uses a lot of resources. So if you use Linux, for example, your development time will decrease, right? So you will do many things in less time, and also there are shells, what we call shells. In Windows, in Linux, for example, you can write one line of code, and maybe if you have 10,000 PNG, you can convert it to JPEG with one line of bash script, right? So if you use Linux, you will see that your productivity increase so much, and everything will just run perfectly smooth. And the editors that Subhodeep said, like Atom, VS Code, maybe Genie, Nano, VI, etc., all run on Linux. And even um, the best part is that Linux comes with Python by default, so you don't have to install Python. It does have Python by default, right? So I think that's why you should use Linux. And also the Python installation is just one command, apt install Python, right? So yeah, it definitely helps.
Okay, so these are some of the reasons for not using Windows. And when I'm presenting the screen, I'm getting errors. So this is another reason for not using Windows, because Windows will give you, a lot of errors. Wrong, but it will
Yes.
still throw errors, and that is one of the major
So
reasons you. Yeah, actually, please, Shorodha, please continue.
yeah, so Windows uses CRLF when using endlines, and Linux or Unix uses \n, right? So various programs that runs on Windows don't run on Linux. Also, there are issues like path. For example, you have null device at dev null in Linux, which doesn't support on Windows, right? So in these cases, Linux wins actually, and Linux is so friendly. If you just move to Linux, you will just see. And anyone who starts using Linux just sticks with Linux. Uh, they don't use Windows anymore. Linux is so user friendly in
In
2020.
fact, exactly, and in fact, Shorodha is a actually heavy user, or you can say power user for Linux. And me, I'm just a year with Linux, and Linux is great. Not only that, in fact, Siddhartha uses Linux Mint. Siddhartha, please share your experience with Linux.
Yeah, Shubhadeep actually recommended me for the Linux to switch on the Linux because I am using the 4 GB RAM on my laptop, and this when I'm gaming with the laptop, or when I'm just connected with my hotspot, there uh, for 10 minutes the computer is just showing me just one screen. I can't do any movement with this laptop. Then he recommended me for the Linux, and we all know that Ubuntu is a very popular in this Linux platform. But he recommended me for the Linux Mint because I have a small amount of resources, and trust me, I haven't too much money to bought another 4 GB RAM. So yeah, so Linux Mint is also very good if you have 4 GB RAM in your laptop. And if your Linux Mint, if you're going for the Linux Mint, and you can find Windows 7 GUI, right, graphical user interface. And it is first of all, look, when you are just going for the Linux or whatever, when you are just starting your computer life in Windows, you face some difficulty, right? You have faced in difficulty in the future in when you are going for the Linux, the same process. But if you're practicing and practicing with the Linux, you can find the way Linux actually use the very small amount of resources to active some process or the threads, right? uh, I think everyone from BCA or computer science background can share those things, resources and threads, you all know, right? You all know familiar with these words, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We have a problem here. For some reason, Windows is not able to start the Django server. Well, uh, anyone here has Git installed using Linux right now? Shidata or Shorabda? I hope
Yeah, sure.
Shorabda is
I'm using
using Linux.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
can you please demonstrate them? I'll provide you the link. Or actually, you have my
Yeah,
GitHub
of
repository.
course.
Can you
I
please
I
GitHub
actually
and
don't
download
have
copy?
the GitHub repository. You can send me in the chat, and I will just clone it and run it. Right. I do have
Okay, okay.
3.9 Python, I believe.
Okay, okay. Sure. I'm just sending it.
Sure.
Just a second.
Yeah, just write it in, maybe in WhatsApp or maybe in the chat, anywhere
I'm
you
I'm
feel.
writing into the chat. Okay.
Okay, okay, sure.
Are you all enjoying the workshop?
Yeah, it is
Yes,
important.
sir. Enjoying.
Yeah,
Okay, let me present, right?
yeah.
I'm just stopping the presentation.
Okay, so I'm recording my entire screen, which is HD. If you are a mobile viewer, you might face some issues. Okay, so okay, am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Doesn't exist. It says your repository doesn't exist. Just a
Okay, yeah,
moment.
I think
GitHub.com, H for HackerDeep, and yeah, I believe is there some typo or something like that? I don't know. It's you know what? Sometimes when you expect the most, when you want to display something to someone, you have low speed internet, or maybe you have a problem.
actually this
I
is
don't know.
unavoidable. Basically, this is unavoidable. No matter how fast you are having the internet, basically this happens. It keeps on happening.
Yeah. And by the way, Linux, you know what? Linux also can, if you have 4 GB RAM, you can make it 8 GB RAM. You can utilize 6 GB maybe. Linux has this stuff, right? So it's so convenient.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a proven. Yes, it is proven.
yeah. Copy link location. Just a moment. I know it's very, very boring, but I don't know what's going on in here. Yeah, now it's working, maybe. Yeah. So it's cloned. Shubhadeep, how do I run the server? I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have it.
Just go to the Passion folder and
Yeah, sure.
run. Yeah. Write Python space manage.py.
Space manage dot py.
No.
Okay, I got
Not
it.
that one actually. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Space run server.
Run hyphen server.
No. It's like together. Together. Yep.
Okay, like this.
Yep.
Okay. Um, you have some errors here. Remdisk py import. Okay, I need to install Django, right? So
Oh, I see.
just a moment. It's very dry. Pip3, I believe, right? I'm not actually into uh, Python development, so I don't have a lot of development libraries. You need maybe
Actually, he's a
Django.
hardcore. I want to tell you this thing that Saurabh is a hardcore Ruby developer, and he has developed a lot of projects in Ruby. And when we conduct the workshops of Ruby in your college, and soon we will be doing that, you will see those different projects.
Yeah, so I got pip. It's called Python pip. It's just 2 MB file. It will be done. Right. So
Regarding pip, what is pip?
this is how you install pip in
Actually,
Linux.
and what is pip? So basically, you need pip to download the external modules of Python. For example, Django, like this pip install Django. This basically means that Django is a external library written by someone else, which you need. And pip is like a Play Store. You use Play Store to download the different tabs written by others. In case of Python, you use pip to download the other codes or libraries written by someone else.
Okay, here is your password generator, Shubhadeep.
Exactly. Please demonstrate, Dada. Please demonstrate. So
I
basically,
don't know actually. Yeah.
okay,
It's
okay.
password
So
length.
basically,
If I generate
yeah.
password, I
No, no,
get
no. This won't work. This won't work. Go back.
okay.
Yeah. So you have to select what it should contain. If I select uppercase alphabets, lowercase alphabets, digits and spaces and special characters as well, it will
Okay.
generate a random password for you, and you have to select the length basically.
Mhm.
You have to select the length, and if I of 12, please keep the length 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now select all of them, and now generate. Okay. So you have your random password. Now
Yeah. It's just
show
like
them. Show.
Firefox. Firefox generating
Exactly.
random
Exactly.
passwords, right? Yeah. So it's very
Exactly.
very handy times.
Okay.
Maybe I
Please
select.
demonstrate some of them. Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I select just uppercase alphabets, for example. Yeah, I do have uppercase alphabets here. It's quite handy actually. I haven't used that, but
Yep.
looks good, right? So it's generating this random number from Linux pseudo random generator. It's called actually it's a device in dev urandom and rev random, right? In Linux and Windows, we have a different kind of thing to emulate the random number generator, right? So we use a lot of mathematics
Exactly.
to do that, but you don't have to do anything. You just in Python, I believe. How do you generate the random number, Shubhadeep? Import random, right?
Yeah. You have to import random. Yep.
Random dot rand int, I believe, right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. There is something like that. Yep. And you have to pass the range.
okay, yeah, I have a random number here. So no matter
Yep.
what, how many times I run it, I will have a random number. So if I multiply it by 1,000, I have a random number of 3 digits, right? So yeah, we are actually
Exactly. Exactly. That's how you generate random.
amplifying the numbers. We are amplifying the numbers. So if the random number generator generates a floating point number and we want maybe a very big random number, it will actually not work very well, right? So you have to maybe pass one range here. I don't know actually. So anyway, it's
Exactly.
quite handy.
So this was one of the this is one of the projects made using Django, and there are also other projects. So Shoradha will demonstrate them one by one. I'm going to share the link. Shoradha, please check the. I'm going to
Mhm.
share it. Just a second.
Okay, sure.
So that was PassGen. I created it using Django. You can do that same. Second, I'm going to share the link of the another repository, which is
Any questions?
to
Any
do file.
questions regarding that?
Okay, so I have another link. Shoradha, please clone this one.
Okay, you got it.
I think many
And
of you.
students,
Yeah, please.
yeah, and students, this is how you clone using Git, and which you can use to download or clone the GitHub repositories. And some of you do not know anything about GitHub, and you can see, this is the advantage of using GitHub. You are seeing it real time, right? Since I am using Windows, I was having some problem with Django. I told Shoradha, please download it, and Shoradha is downloading it and demonstrating it. That's the power of GitHub. You can share your code with everyone in the world. That is the power, guys.
Yeah, sure. We actually work a lot on GitHub, for example, right? GitHub is really, really simple. You don't have to write commands. You can just drag and drop stuff here, right? So GitHub is really handy thing, and everyone should know GitHub, even if you are not programmer or anything, right? So it's
Yeah, actually
Shubhadeep's.
helps. It actually helps.
Yeah, so it's Shubhadeep's GitHub. It's really, really nice.
Thank you so
Actually,
much. Thank you so much, Shoradha.
yeah, it's contributions and everything. So he writes Python, for example. It's just like Facebook for coders, right? So for programmers. If I,
Exactly. And it is very, very important to build your reputation, because when you're going to company, they will ask for your GitHub repository. And this is Shoradha's repository. You can see he
yeah,
uses Ruby a lot. You can see that.
yeah,
So basically, this
I
is
have
very
various
required.
libraries.
This is very, very required when you're going to interview and other stuffs. And it is your online reputation as a programmer. So make sure you understand GitHub. Yep. Okay, sure. Please, can you just demonstrate it?
Sure,
It is
sure.
downloading, I think.
No, it's
Yeah.
downloaded. My internet is quite fast.
Okay. 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 So just write python manage.py and run server. Just like the last time.
Manage.py, then run
Run
server, right?
server. Run server.
Oh,
No, no. Together.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
The
Okay.
port.
Okay. It's
Oh,
perfectly fine.
okay. We have
Okay. I think
the
that.
port captured here, right? We have to stop the server because we are using the same port,
Okay. Okay.
8,000, I believe. So
Yeah.
yeah,
8,000. 8,000 exactly.
localhost 8,000. Yeah. So we have to
Okay.
do
So this
file.
is a to-do list. Exactly.
Mhm.
This is a to-do list where you can make all your to-dos, all the things you want to do today, and you can log in or sign up. Dada, can you please sign up?
Yeah, sure.
So basically, all this authentication system, I have built it, and I haven't written even a single line of HTML here. Been done with the help of Django itself. That's the power of Django, guys. So you can create a to-do here, and Shoradha will show you how to do it. You have to enter the title, description, and if it is important or not, you have to check it. If it is important, however, it will be bold.
Okay, yeah.
You
Got
save it.
So yeah, we have.
See, it is bold basically, and okay, yeah, okay. You have to create some more, and some of them are important, some of them are not important. So just give a demo.
So it's
just
not
save it.
important, for example. Yeah. So it's not bold.
Yeah. So since it is not important, it is not bold. So now just complete one of them. Just
Yeah.
hit one of them, and hit completed. Completed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So now
gone.
it's gone. Now when you go to completed to-dos, basically. Yeah. Now go to completed to-dos.
Student might think it looks ugly. Yeah, it looks ugly because we don't have CSS here, right? So you have to do front end stuff to make
Yeah,
it better.
exactly.
You can animate the buttons
Backend
like
stuff.
right. So you can do anything you want with CSS and JavaScript. So that's a front end part. Shubhadeep hasn't done that. Shubhadeep has just done the back end part.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it looks ugly. Yeah. So we need
Exactly.
some customizations there.
Yeah, can you
That's not
please show me
part
the
of
completed
Python.
to-do section?
Yeah, completed to dos. Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, you have the time and date when you have completed it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see you have completed both of them, and you can also log out from here from there. Now you can log out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it's working.
So now that is one of the projects. Yeah. So that is the
Yep.
backend part, and just now Shoradha said to make it look good, you have to use CSS or JavaScript, and you can use React or something like that. But we will come, we will come to that later on. That's it. And now I'm going to show another project, and this is the last project of today. A demo portfolio. It is my demo portfolio. It is not my real portfolio. You can write blogs and all the stuffs into that. This is my last project right now. And here is my portfolio. I'm sharing the GitHub link once again. And when I'm doing this, please look at it very carefully because you are going to do that some point in your life.
Guys, I think you understand what all they are doing, and please respond if you don't understand anything, because I know the Shurabda and Shubhadeep are doing so well, and they are very familiar with all this environment, all the GitHub what they are doing. They are very easy. They are doing very easily. But if you are not from the not know the GitHub, you can't understand. But please try to understand doing and problem. Plus, please ask them the question. Okay, how many are,
Everyone knows about GitHub. Everyone knows about GitHub.
how many of you knows about the GitHub? This is
Have you
actually
heard of GitHub, or or you have used in GitHub in real life? Anyone? Okay,
Sir,
so
I know, but
our server is running. continue. Please continue. You are saying something. Please continue, Jigisha.
Sir, I know, but মানে আমি ইউজ করিনি কোনোদিনও গিটহাব।
হ্যাঁ, that's perfectly fine. তুমি আস্তে আস্তে ইউজ করবে যখন তুমি প্রজেক্টস বানাবে। এখনো তো অত আই গেস প্রজেক্টস বানাওনি, বাট যখন জ্যাঙ্গো বা রিঅ্যাক্ট বা এইসব করবে তখন কিন্তু তুমি এগুলো বানাবে, ঠিক আছে? এগুলো ইউজ করবে আর ডেফিনেটলি উইল হেল্প ইউ অফ কোর্স। ওকে, এনিওয়েজ দিস ইজ আওয়ার পোর্টফোলিও। সো এটা একদম বেসিক একটা পোর্টফোলিও। হ্যাঁ, দিস ইজ আ ভেরি ভেরি বেসিক পোর্টফোলিও. These are some of the projects I have built, and I know once again this is looking ugly, but it has a lot going on inside it. There are static files, there are media files, there are all the stuffs all around, and it is not HTML. Although it is generating HTML, it is not HTML, it is Django. Okay, Django is generating HTML and it is rendering it. Okay, that is the thing. Now you can go to blog.
Okay, yeah, blog.
Okay, so here you can write your own blogs. Basically, these are some of the blogs I have written.
Hey, and it's not styled very properly,
And you
right?
have
So we can use CSS. It's
Exactly,
maybe
exactly.
one line of.
You can use CSS.
Yeah.
And the top navigation bar you're seeing, it is entirely bootstrap. It is not something I have written on my own. It is a bootstrap thing. When you're running short of time, you can use bootstrap. But I won't recommend it when you are building your own projects, of course. But if you're in a hurry and you want to demonstrate a prototype or something, you can do it. So that
The
is the
thing
thing.
is
You can also show.
Yeah, the thing is that student might say that when I refresh the server, you can see the output is coming on my terminal here. Look at that, right? So when I refresh the page, so I get the output in my terminal. So yeah, so it's Django, right? So it's totally Django. Django is doing this stuff. Django is running the server and stuff. And when I say, for example, download the PDF resume, I get this. I go to this link. I send a GET request. So we are getting the PDF from here. So everything is done in Django, and if we style this properly, it will look eye candy. But as a backend developer or maybe a Python developer, you don't have to do a lot of HTML and CSS and JavaScript. You will just write the backend part, like it's how it's working, right?
So yeah, exactly, Saurabh. If you want to customize it, you can do it using CSS and HTML and JavaScript. But otherwise, if you are a backend developer, you don't need to know a lot of the things. Although the knowledge of everything is of course helpful. The more you know, the better you are at your job. But of course, you don't need it. It is not entirely necessary for building such things. You can learn Django. You can do the just backend stuffs. Okay. So these are some of the projects. Now I guess it's 6, and now we have a very little time left. I'm going to show you some of the basic stuffs using Python, and I'm not going to explain a lot. So please listen carefully when I say something. I'm going to demonstrate in live. Okay, let's get started. So Shorda, can you please turn off your presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So now I'm presenting. I hope it is visible. Okay, just a second. I'm sharing the screen now. Sharing. Okay, Shorada, Siddhartha, am I visible? Or Rudra, am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Yeah, perfectly visible.
Okay. Thank you. So now, now it is running, but I don't need it right now because just right now I told you do not use Windows because see when I started it didn't run right. So that is a very bad thing with Windows. So don't use Windows. It's bad. As simple as that. Now let's not this one. Now I'm going to show you some of the basic stuff you can do with Python. This is how you start Python. You just open the command prompt and you type Python start, and Python will start just right now. It is a shell, and every interpreted language, at least almost all interpreted languages have their own shell. Or you can have Ruby shell. It is called interactive Ruby or something. Shorda will know better. And there is Node for JavaScript. Okay, so it started. So I am currently running version 3.8.6, which is a backdated version, of course. The current version is 3.9.1. So in Python, you do not declare a variable, although you can do that, but the declaration is very much not required. So let's say I can directly write something like this: a equals to 5. Okay, or I can say a equals to hello. And if I had done the same thing in a C compiler, it would have given me error. because this is not C, this is Python, and Python is a, I just told you, dynamically typed language. So now when I say A equals to 5, the type of A, basically, just a second, see, it is of class int, and most of the things in Python are objects. So you need to understand the object-oriented programming, but we won't cover that right now because we are running short of time. Now, if I say something like this, A equals to hello world. Now, if I check the type of A, this is a string type, so it changes its type, and it is determined by Python in the runtime itself. This is why it is called the dynamically typed language. And declaration is not necessary here, but you can do it something like this. And yeah, now your variable is declared. But C, it automatically assigns something, 0. This does not happen with C, right? Okay, so you don't need to declare it. You directly initialize it. This is how you declare variables. Now variables are done. Now coming to Boolean section, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the Boolean section, but just remember Boolean means true or false. Sach ya jhoot, that's it. Shotti ba mithe, whatever you understand. So for example, if I say 5 more than 10, I'll get a false. If I say 3 more than 1, I get a true, because this is what it is, right? 5 is more than 10, false. 3 is more than 1, true. So then these are the operators: more than, I can have less than, I can have equal to, okay, I can have more than equal to, I can have less than equal to, okay. So these are the things. And another thing, you cannot do something like A++, which you had done in C++, right, or C. So if I have A equals to 5 and I do something A++, I'll get error. Or if I do plus A, I'll get error. The only thing you can do is that A plus equals to 5, A plus equals to 1. Now you have incremented the A variable, right? So that's how you do. Okay, I'm jumping back to my Boolean thing. So Boolean is true and false. And when I'm talking about true and false, you must understand the logical operators actually. So these are some of the things I'll show you. So if I say true and true, this will give me true. True and false, this will give me false. False and false will definitely give me false. So this is how AND works. The only time it will give you true is that when both the results are true. So for example, if I say 4 more than 10, 4 more than 10 and 3 less than 10. Okay, this is not working. Why? Because this one is giving us false. False and true will give us false. But if I say something like this, if I just change it, 4 less than, now it gives us true. So true, this is also true, and when I join them with AND, it gives us true. So this is AND. Now there is OR, and I'll show you what it does. Even if one condition is true, it will give us true. So true, or false, it will give us true. It requires only one thing to be true, not the whole thing. So if I say something true or true, it will give me true. The only condition where it will give me false is this: false or false. And another thing I want to mention, that remember in Python it is the capital F. Okay, it's not like Java, like you can say true, like true or false. It does not work. Before you should do that, it will detect it as a variable name which is not present. So that's not true. And if you have ever seen null, null in Python is called none. Okay, so null does not work. Null will also give me error. But if I say none, I'm sorry. Okay, this is called none. Okay, so none means null. It is the same as null, and this basically means there's nothing present. Okay, this was Boolean. Now I'm coming to if else. Of if else, the first one is just if, only the ifs condition. So if I say there is rain in the outside, take an umbrella. So that is single condition. Okay, if I say if there is rain outside, take the umbrella. However, if it is not raining, take your sunglasses. This is a two-way condition. It is called if else. And if I say if it is raining outside, take umbrella. If it is if it is cold outside, take a sweater with you. And if it is none of them, so this is called if and else. I'm going to show you something. So if 4 more than 10, and this is how you write a if block. So you can see there are 3 ellipses right now in the shell. Just hit a tab because Python works with indentation. You do not have to enter any semicolon or brackets. Python entirely works with indentation. Now if you write something like this, print hello, and this will not work because 4 is of course not more than 10. So this is false. So say this is the reason it is not getting executed. However, if I just said something like this, print this one and else part, print by. So you can see that this part is getting executed because you are saying what to do if this is not true. So if this is not true, execute this part. So by. So this was if else. There are also elif condition. I can say like this, and I need to do it as fast as possible. This is called elif. If you are a Java or a C programmer, this is same as else if. Else if called elif in Python. Oh, I sorry, I forgot to put the condition. Just a second. Yeah, put the condition. Elif 4 less than 10, print high. Else okay. It says high. Why? Because this is not true. This is not true, right? Because 4 is not more than 10. This is true. This is the reason it is get executed, and this part is never executed because this one is already executed. So this is how you do if else in Python. Now I'm jumping to loops. So this is how you write a for loop in Python. So if I say for x in range 10, print Python rocks. So it is printing Python rocks 10 times. So basically this is the same if you're a Java programmer. For int I equals to 0, I less than equals to 10, I'm sorry, I less than 10, I plus plus, print Python rocks. So it is the same as this one. And this is how you write a for loop. And there is another way. In while loop, if I say something like this, let's say we have a variable a equals to 10. So if I say while a not equals to 0, print hello a minus equals to 1. See, let's see what happens. So it is printing hello until this condition is false, because currently a is 10, so this is true. Again 9 true, 8 true, but when every time it is getting decremented, once it becomes 0, this condition is false because this time a is equal to 0 and this condition is thus false. So it is it just lets it alone. That is how you write a for loop and while loop, and I have also shown you if else. Now coming back, how to write a function and why do we write a function? So basically when you need a piece of code more than 2 times or 3 times, or you need it a lot of times, you write generally function. So if I say something like this, how you write a function in Python, def foo, and here you have to write the parameters it will accept, and there is a confusion between parameters and arguments. So parameters are the things which it accepts and arguments are the things that you pass. So basically if I say a comma b, so, and if I say return, and you have to mention a return statement, it is optional, although I can say return a plus b. Now let's see what happens. So this is the definition of a function, def foo a comma b. So you will have to pass two things, and once again it is dynamically typed. So this is the reason you don't need to specify int a or int b. Okay, although you can do that, but you don't really need to. Foo, I can say 5 and 10 and pass it. It will give me 15. So here when I'm calling the function, I am passing arguments. Okay, these are the arguments and these are the parameters. So 5 and 10 are arguments. So it returns a plus b, that is 5 plus 10. This is how you write a function, and I don't need to write the same thing again and again and again, right? So this is the power of Python. I can also say something like this: foo. Now look at this very carefully. 5 comma 10. This will give me 15, right? But I can say foo, another foo, something like 5. Let's say what happens. It gives me 20. Why? This foo 5 comma 10 gives you 15, and after that you pass the result into another foo along with the next parameter as 5. So 15 plus 5 gives you 20. So this is the power of function. This is the reason you use functions, right? It actually lessens your code. You have to write less code. So I hope I'm clear. The next topic is, I guess we are done. Okay, no. I need to show you some of the built-in data structures of Python. There are lists. This is how you define a list. Basically, lists are just like arrays in C, C++, or Java. But the only difference is that it can contain anything. So for example, a equals to array. Basically, these are things called lists. So if I say a dot append, and you have to put something like, let's say I want to append 100. Now a has only one element. If I say something 46, it has now two. Okay, a has 246 100, right? And if I say something now, hello. Now this does not give me any error. Why? Because it can contain anything. It can contain strings. It can contain integers. It can also contain float. Like if I say something like this, this will also not give me error, because see, it can contain floats, it can contain string, it can contain integers all together, and it does not have a size limitation. Okay, it does not have any size limitation. You can put hundreds and thousands of elements. This will not give you error until and unless you run out of memory. But that's not going to happen in practical world. Okay. Now, if I want to change an element, I can use indexing. So basically, the 0 element, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just like an array, I told you. So it is called indexing, and it starts from 0. So the first element is 0, always 0. It starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I want to see the third element, what is the third element? Hello. So this one. If I change this one equals to by. Now if I check a, see, this is gone, this is here. This is called mutable. Lists are mutable. Now what are mutable objects? Mutable objects are the things that can be changed, whose elements can be changed. But if I do not want to change it, I can use a tuple instead. So what is a tuple? Tuple is just like list. It can contain anything. It can contain any number of things. But however, you cannot change things. You cannot do this. Okay. So these are called tuples. So if I say a equals to 1, 2, 3, hello, and then 47.55, we have this thing. Now if I want to change this, I can say, let's say 3. So 3 is hello. Now if I change this to by, see what happens closely. I will get an error because tuple object does not support item assignment. So this is immutable. So mutable means the objects whose things we can change, and immutable are the things which we cannot change. So tuples are immutable, so we cannot change to by. However, lists are mutable, we can change it to by. So I can change the elements. So this is list and tuple. There are also something called okay, you guys know about strings. So this is strings. I can say my name. So this is string, and I'm not explaining it because it will take a lot of time. The next thing I'm going to say is the sets. So I hope many of you have studied sets in mathematics in your school level or college level. It is the same thing here. You can do set operations such as union, intersection, set difference, symmetric difference. You can do all of that thing in Python itself. So and again, a set does not have duplicate elements. So if I say something like this, and this is how you define a set. You use curly brackets and you say 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Now if I hit A, say it contains only 1, 2, 3. Duplicate elements are being removed, right? And that is set, and you can do set operations. Okay, you can do it easily. So if I have something called B, I have another set 2, 3, 4.
Shubhadeep, I think we are getting late to go forward. So please be quick. Thank you.
Okay, so basically what is happening here? A pipe B. What is happening? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically it is a union operation. Okay, I'm just showing one operation. It is called the union operation. So 1, 2, 3, and since they were already present, we are not taking them. We are just taking it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is set. And the final thing that I'm going to show you is the dictionaries. So what are dictionaries? Dictionaries are key value pairs. They are also called hash maps in JavaScript. So let's get started. So let's say we have a dictionary, and in dictionary you can actually with their key. So let's say name is and roll number is. We have two things.
It's not my roll number. It's 30.
I'm kidding, man. I'm just showing an example. Okay, anyways. So how can you view it? You can say something like A name. You do not use indexing here. You use key name. So what is the name of A? You get Siddhartha. And similarly, if I say something like what is the role, I can see role, you get 50. Okay. So that's how you use all these different things. There are also various built-in algorithms which Python has already. So it actually helps you to do your things much faster as compared to other languages. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this is finished. Now we will jump on to the quiz section. I'm stopping the sharing.
Thank you, Shubhadeep. So, guys, we are moving forward for our quiz section. As you know that you have to. We give you 15 questions and their answer. You have to write down in your copy, and after that, we will provide you a Google form, and you have to fill it by just 3 minutes, and the top five fastest of top five students will get the 10% discount in our industrial training what we previously said. So please be ready. Just give me a second.
And yeah, I want to mention once again that this certificate is it is registered under Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. So it is very important actually. Questions I will say, and later on my colleagues will take over. So welcome to the Py-Volution quiz. The most interesting questions, some of the. Okay, so let's get started. Siddhartha, first question, please. And get set, go, guys. The first question: who is the creator of Python programming language? Option number 1, Guido van Rossum. Option number 2, Dennis Ritchie. Option number 3, James Gosling. And final option, Robert Downey Jr. And I repeat the question once again. Who is the creator of the Python programming language? Guido van Rossum, Dennis Ritchie, James Gosling, Robert Downey Jr. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lists are immutable objects. True or false? Okay, don't write the answer here. Don't write the answer here. Please, guys.
Yes, I also
write it in your copy.
those who are writing the answers here, please don't write the answers over here. You are being told that write in a piece of paper, and the Google form which is given above, that see a Google form for link for the quiz is given. At there, submit the answer. Please don't write here. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So okay, coming back. Tuples are immutable. Lists are immutable objects. True or false? I repeat my question once again. Tuples are mutable. lists are immutable objects. I just told you what are the difference between mutable and immutable. So you have to answer based on that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next. Functions are same as methods. True or false? I repeat my question once again. Functions are same, true or false? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question. Okay, from here on, my colleague will take over.
Okay. I'm taking it over.
Okay.
Okay. So the fourth question is generator takes more memory than list. Is it true or false? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question.
No. You have to Shikriti, you have to repeat the question once again.
Okay, sure. I'm repeating it. Generators takes more memory than list. Is it true or false? Okay. Fifth question. Python does have the built-in support for abstract classes and interfaces. Is it true or false? I'm repeating it again. Python does have the built-in support for abstract classes and interfaces. Is it true or false? Six. What is the name of the module used for plotting graphs using Python? First, NumPy. Second, Skippy. Third, Scrappy. And the fourth is Matplotlib. I'm repeating again. What is the name of the module used for plotting graphs using Python? First, NumPy. Second, Skippy. Third, Scrappy. Fourth, Matplotlib.
Okay, from now on, Siddhartha will take over. Please, Siddhartha.
Yeah. Seventh question is, Django is a heavy wave framework while Flask is the microwave framework. Is it true or false? Django is a heavy wave framework while Flask is a microwave framework. Is it true or false? Moving on to the next question. 8. What is the module used for web scraping? Option number 1, Beautiful Sock. Option number 2, URL. Option 3, Socket. Option number 4, Tkinter. I'm repeating. What is the module used for web scripting? Option number 1, Beautiful Sock. Option number 2, ULib. Option 3, Socket. Option 4, Tkinter. Question number 9. A language similar to Python with some minor changes but can run 10 times faster. Option 1, PyPy. Option 2, CPython. Option 3, Python. Option 4, IronPython. I'm repeating. A language similar to Python with some minor changes but can run 10 times faster. Option number 1, PyPy. Option 2, CPython. Option 3, Python. Option 4, IronPython.
Okay, so from
now
here on,
onward, Sonali.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Sonali
Sonali
will
will
take
take
over.
over. Sonali, please.
Yes, thank you. Question number 10. Language similar to Python, which can be used for controlling microcontrollers. Option 1, MicroPython. Option 2, CircuitPython. Option 3, both 1 and 2. Option 4, Iron Python. I repeat the question. Question 10. Language similar to Python which can be used for controlling microcontrollers. Number 1, MicroPython. Number 2, CircuitPython. Number 3, both 1 and 2. And number 4, Python, Iron Python. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 11. How to see the Zen of Python? Option 1, import this. Option 2, import Django. Option 3, import math. Option 4, import collections. I repeat the questions. How to see the Zen of Python? Import this, import Django, import math, and import collections. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the next question is, who is the writer of the Zen of Python? Option 1, Tim Peters. Option 2, James Gosling. Option 3, Linus Torvalds. Option 4, Guido van Rossum. I repeat the question. Who is the writer of the Zen of Python? Option 1, Tim Peters. Option 2, James Gosling. Option 3, Linus Torvalds. And option 4, Guido van Rossum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, Ms. Sriparna Roy will continue.
No, it's Rudro. Rudro will take
Okay,
over.
sorry. I'm really sorry. My colleague, Mr. Rudro, will continue from here. Thank you.
Okay, before Rudro, I want to talk about the Zen of Python. So actually, I want to tell you about the Zen of Python. So it is the, so let's understand the philosophy of Python. It is a poem written by X. Okay, I'm not telling you the name. Okay, beautiful is better than ugly, than implicit. Simple is better than complex. Complex is better than complicated. I repeat once again. Beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than implicit. Simple is better than complex. Complex is better than complicated. So that is the Zen of Python. So that you guys do not get confused what about what the Zen of Python actually means. So that's it. Now Rudro will take over. Rudro, please.
Thank you, Subhodeep. Question number 13. Which Python interpreter uses the infamous GIL? Option number 1, CPython. Option number 2, PyPy. Option number 3, Iron Python. Option number 4, MicroPython. I repeat again. Which Python interpreter uses the same infamous GIL? Number 1, CPython. Number 2, PyPy. Number 3, Iron Python. Number 4, MicroPython. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The question number 14. Python is slow, but other than that, what are the limitations? Question number 1, both 3 and 4. Question number 2, no multiple inheritance. Question number 3, I'm sorry, extremely sorry. Option number 1, both 3 and 4. Option number 2, no multiple inheritance. Option number 3, poor multi-threading. Option number 4, no access specifier. I repeat again. Python is slow, but other than that, what are the limitations? Option number 1, both 3 and 4. 2, no multiple inheritance. 3, poor multi-threading. 4, no access specifier. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 15. That's the last question. Which programming language has been used to create Python? Option number 1, C++. Option number 2, Rust. Option number 3, Java. Option number 4, C. I repeat again. Which programming language has been used to create Python? Option number 1, C++. Option number 2, Rust. Option number 3, Java. Option number 4, C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So that's the end of the quiz, guys. You have 3 minutes to fill out the form with answers. Only 3 minutes. So get set, go. The link is in the chat. You have to just go and fill it up as
Hurry up,
soon
guys,
as
hurry up,
possible,
hurry
because
up,
only
guys,
the
hurry
top
up.
5 people exactly will get 10% discount, as well as their photos will be printed on the poster, and it will be posted on the official Facebook page of Py-Volution. Begins. Go. In 3 minutes, the form will close. So fill it fast. I will tell you about the live industrial training of Py-Volution. Beginning, my dear colleague has explained about the live classes, that our classes will not just be about learning, it's about implementing. Why? Because you learn all the things and you are exceptional at it, you will get a chance for internship through Campus Pro, which is a company providing internships to the students, multinational companies. So we have collaborated with them so that you get an opportunity to work. হয় না জিনিসটা নিয়ে কাজও করতে হয়, তারপরে গিয়ে আসল শেখাটা হয়। And the next thing that I want to tell is that we are also a registered startup under IIC-TMSL, which is an initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. That means there is a lot of credibility. So once you get the professional certificate, you can show it to your employer, or you can add it to your GitHub, or you can add it to your LinkedIn, and it will increase your it will increase your credibility by a lot. Approved, as well as it is collaborated with Campus Pro, which is a big name when it comes to companies providing startups. In case of live training, all the lectures will be recorded as well as provided to you guys in the Google Drive link. So and that to lifetime access. এই না যে 500 টাকা শেষ হয়ে গেল and that's it, not about it. The lectures will be available lifetime. That's the guarantee we can provide. শুধু তাই না, আমাদের এখানে ইনস্ট্রাক্টরসরা টপ নচ কোয়ালিটি। As you can see, Shorodha has years of experience in Ruby, JavaScript, Unix, Linux. He has a lot of experience in that field. So Shorodha is going to teach you Ruby, which is a brother of Python. It can do things like Python, but sometimes sometimes any of them is better. Sometimes Python is better, sometimes Ruby is better. So that depends. But however, Ruby is very important if you want to go into some serious web development stuffs, because Ruby has a great library. I already told you it's Ruby on Rails. So Shorodha teaches that. I show you Python programming language. And why should you believe me? Because, well, I am a 5-star coder in HackerRank. Gold, I won a gold badge in HackerRank. I have completed Cisco certified network as a network associate recently. I'm pursuing I'm pursuing certified ethical hacker from AC Council. Not only that, I have also passed Google certified automation professional recently. So I have all these different certificates and proofs that actually prove that I am a serious developer and you can actually trust me. And no matter what, you get live assistance, live support to help you to achieve your dreams. And not only that, shudhu tai na, there are companies in Kolkata or in India who charge rupees 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000, sometimes even 20,000 to provide just the basic training to you guys. But আমরা সেটা করছি না। What we are doing instead, আমরা একটা জিরো কেটে সরিয়ে দিচ্ছি। 5,000 থেকে একটা জিরো সরিয়ে দিলাম, 15,000 থেকে দুটো জিরো সরিয়ে দিলাম, and we are done. We are taking you to the next level for only rupees 500. Okay, only rupees 500, and that's how cheap it is. Canada Py-Volution is made for students. We are not doing here money. It's about making an impact in the society, making you guys educated enough so that you can take the world to the next level. We are here, industry of technical education. That is the goal here, and we are doing it for the least cost possible. Basically, ওটা আমাদের দরকার, because আমরা টাইম দিয়ে শেখাবো, and that is the value we get in return. That's not about like we are doing a lot of profit or something like that. It's not about profit. It's about the teaching. So I hope it is clear. এবারে স্বর্ণালী কিছু অ্যাড করতে চাই এখানে?
না, আমি আপাতত কিছু অ্যাড করতে চাই না, তুই অনেকটাই বলে ফেলেছিস। আমি জানি যে সবাই মোটামুটি আমি যা দেখছি ফর্মে তো সবাই করে দিয়েছে। কেউ বাকি থাকলে বলতে পারিস, আমি ফর্মটা বন্ধ করব।
ওকে আই গেস
Anybody
বাকি
left?
সেটা তো 3 মিনিট হয়ে গেছে, বন্ধ করে দে ভাই।
হ্যাঁ অলরেডি 3 মিনিট হয়ে গেছে। তো আমি লাস্ট একবার ফাইনাল জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাই সবাইকে যে কারা কারা মানে সার্টিফিকেটের জন্য রেজিস্টার করেছিলিস অ্যান্ড পে করে দিয়েছিস অ্যান্ড গুগল ফর্মও ফিল আপ করেছিস। কারণ দেখ আমাদের কাছে প্রায় অনেক আমরা ওয়ার্কশপ করেছি, তো কিন্তু তার সত্ত্বেও আমাদের অনেকগুলো আমাদের অ্যাকাউন্টসে আসে, আচ্ছা অনেক অ্যাকাউন্টস আসে যেগুলো আমাদের সম্ভব নয় যে সবারটা ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি দেখা, তাই জন্য আমাদের গুগল ফর্ম বানাই যাতে আমরা মানে কোঅর্ডিনেট করতে পারি, মানে কে মানে পাঠিয়েছে তার এগেনস্টে আমরা সার্টিফিকেট দিতে পারি। কারণ প্রত্যেকটা খুলে দেখার তো অত মানে ইট ইজ নেক্সট টু ইম্পসিবল, ইউনো। তো কে করেছিস একবার যদি চ্যাটেও লিখে দিস তাহলে খুব ভালো হয়।
আচ্ছা সেটা
দুটোই করেছিস?
করবি, এক্স্যাক্টলি এটা কর। আর তার সাথে একটা ফিডব্যাক লিংক প্রোভাইড করা হবে। আমাদের একজন আছে বর্ণিতা পল, সে এখানে লিংক প্রোভাইড করে দেবে। শি ইজ ইন দ্য চ্যাট সাপোর্ট টিম। জাস্ট গো এন্ড ফিল আউট দ্য ফিডব্যাক ফর্ম, কেননা সেটা আমাদের দরকার টু ইমপ্রুভ বেসিক্যালি। তো সেটা প্লিজ সবাই ভোগে দিস, আদারওয়াইজ উই ক্যানট ইমপ্রুভ, উই নিড ইউর হেল্প রিয়েলি। আর তোরা কোন সার্টিফিকেশন পেতে চলেছিস সেটা একবার সিদ্ধার্থ আমাদের ফেসবুক পেজ খুলে দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছে, সেটা তো প্লিজ।
Yeah. Just wait. Just give me 5 seconds.
Okay, sure. This is
এরম কেউ
a
আছিস?
certificate made for you guys. Acha, Rudra was saying something. Rudra, can you please continue? Shiva, can you please off your mic, please?
Yes.
এরম কেউ আছিস হয়তো কারোর বন্ধু নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেমের জন্য জয়েন করতে পারেনি বাট ফর্মটা ফিল করেছিল?
এরকম কেউ থাকলে প্লিজ আমাদের সঙ্গে কন্ট্যাক্ট করতে বলিস,
রেসপন্ড করিস, বা কারোর বন্ধু কেউ থাকলে নামটা বলে দিস আমাদেরকে।
সো কেমন ছিল অল ওভার, কেমন লেগেছে, কেমন লাগছে? আমি ফিডব্যাকটা এখনই শুনতে চাই। আর এই হচ্ছে সেই সার্টিফিকেশনটা যেটা তোরা পেতে চলেছিস। জাস্ট লুক অ্যাট দ্য সার্টিফিকেট, জাস্ট লুক অ্যাট দ্য সার্টিফিকেশন। Government of India approved, IICTMSL supported, collaborated with Campus Pro, Py-Volution is symbol. Look at the quality of certificate you are getting. Like that's the quality. Something cool, something different যেটা কিনা others provide করবে না। It's not just a certificate. এটা এমন একটা সার্টিফিকেট যেটা দেখে লোকে বলবে wow, that's great. এটা একটু হটকে। This is the reason we have created the certificate like this. So are you guys liking the certificate? You can say yes. So already we have conducted a workshop in Jadavpur University, and these 3 guys were certified. Yeah, please guys, that's great or not? Please respond. Write it down in the chat box.
ভালো না লাগলেও বল, যা ইচ্ছে বল, ভালো কি খারাপ।
Exactly. Okay.
আর এতগুলো ভ্যালুয়েবল স্ট্যাম্পস তোমরা পেতে চলেছো, এটা কিন্তু নকেট। এই এতগুলো ভ্যালুয়েবল স্ট্যাম্পস তোমরা কিন্তু ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিং এর পরে যে সার্টিফিকেটটা প্রোভাইডেড হবে ওটার মধ্যেও কিন্তু থাকবে। সো আই হোপ দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ক্লিয়ার।
Exactly.
মানে হাউ মাচ the credibility of your certificate will increase if you have those stamps or logos included in your certificate. All right. And ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিং এর পরে তোমাদের এটাও শেখানো হবে যেটা লিঙ্ক একটা ভালো টপ নচ কোয়ালিটি, হাই কোয়ালিটি লিঙ্কডইন প্রোফাইল কি করে বানাবো, যাতে কিনা আমরা নিজেদের স্কিলস গুলোকে শোকেস করতে পারি নিজেদের রিক্রুটার্স কে, এমপ্লয়ার্স কে, যে আমরা এরকম আর কি প্রজেক্টস বানিয়েছি এন্ড উই হ্যাভ দিস স্কিলস, সো দ্যাট লাইক তোমাদের কাছে সারপ্রাইজিংলি আর কি কলস চলে আসতে পারে, ইমেলস চলে আসতে পারে যে তোমাকে ইনভাইট করা হয়েছে। হ্যাঁ, কোম্পানিজে আর কি রিক্রুটমেন্ট প্রসেসে তোমাকে ইনভাইট করা হয়েছে, তো ইউ ক্যান অ্যাপ্লাই। তো মেলস আসতে পারে, এরকম সারপ্রাইজিং কলস আসতে পারে, এন্ড মেনি মোর অপরচুনিটিস ইউ ক্যান গেট। ওকে, সো আজকের ডেটে, আজকের এরাতে একটা ভালো লিঙ্কডইন প্রোফাইল হওয়া কিন্তু খুবই দরকার। তো সেসব গাইডেন্সও কিন্তু Py-Volution সব প্রোভাইড করে দেবে। ওকে, সো লাস্টে আমার বলার ছিল।
এক্স্যাক্টলি। আর প্লিজ আমাদেরকে ফলো করিস। সিদ্ধার্থ, হ্যালো সিদ্ধার্থ, ওদেরকে একবার আমাদের ফেসবুকের পেজটা দেখিয়ে দে আর আমার লিঙ্কডইনটা দেখিয়ে দে প্লিজ।
সেটা দেখানোর আগে আমি একটা জিনিস, শ্রেয়া পল, তো তুই কি এখনো মানে করিসনি কেন? আমি জানতে চাইছি, মানে কুইজটা সাবমিট করিসনি কেন? হ্যালো শ্রেয়া পল, আই এম অডিবল গাইস?
Yes, you
হ্যাঁ
are.
ভাই শুনতে পাচ্ছি আমি।
Yeah. So Sriyapal, you facing some issue with your internet or okay?
Okay,
I
I
think
guess she's having some trouble. Okay.
he's okay. Huh.
Okay, but
What did
Sridhar,
you
please
say,
don't.
Shubhadeep? Yeah.
Hi, just show them our Facebook page as well as our actually my LinkedIn for the time being.
Okay. Just give me 5 seconds.
Okay, sure.
So this is our Facebook page of Py-Volution. You can find this in your Facebook and you can follow this, right? So here we are posting many things, and you can see we are conducting a workshop in Jadavpur, and you can find all of us together. This is our team, and we all working in the same company, and you can see our introduction here, and
And
please
lots of
follow
stuff.
this, guys.
Exactly. Please follow this. And
Please follow
আমার
this,
LinkedIn
and
একটু
I'm
দেখিয়ে
going
দেবো।
to the link. Yeah, I'm going to LinkedIn.
And this is another reason why you can trust me. Actually, I'm giving you reasons after reasons, and you will be amazed to see my LinkedIn profile. Actually, I'm just saying.
Actually, me and Shubhadeep starting our LinkedIn in the same day or same month, but Shubhadeep is going to new high, and I'm where I am.
No, that's not okay. Actually, we all are growing with our own speed. However, your screen stopped actually.
Yeah. I know. It gets off. I know. Wait.
Okay.
So yeah, there's 500 plus connection in his LinkedIn, and if you go the features, and you can see he get the gold in hacker rank in the Python, and he has achieved many things what I'm dreaming to achieve.
It's really a dream LinkedIn profile.
Okay, and just see my actually endorsements, my experiences, and my endorsements. Shridhar, can you go down, bro?
Yeah. I'm finding actually. Where is it?
Actually, it is actually down.
It is.
So you
Yeah.
can see. So you can see this. All of my top skills have been endorsed 99 plus. Just show that one, the top ones. You can see all of my skills have been endorsed by 99 plus people, which is the maximum level LinkedIn can handle. And not only that, I have recommendations from all people, including my own colleagues as well. You can follow me on LinkedIn as well, and please follow our Facebook page Py-Volution and Instagram. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This was the thing. And if anyone of my company wants to add something about the live class, you can please open your mic and say it. Be it Bernita, be it Sharnali, be it Shikriti, Siddhartha, Saurabha, anyone. Anyone. Anyone wants to add something about the live online workshop?
No, actually no. Everything is totally fine, and please, guys, go and enroll. You can contact us. Our contact number is also provided by us. So please feel free. If you are not able to call, you can WhatsApp it or direct message, and just contact us, and we will give you the perfect information about it.
And I'm putting
Thank you
the
so much, guys.
website link here. I'm putting the website link, just a second.
Actually, I can share the website link. Please give
Yeah,
me the
actually, please show
website
them.
link.
Please show them.
Yeah, yeah.
Just show them, Shidatta, once again. And tell them where they can actually register and all the stuff. Just give them a quick overview of the website so that they can understand where they can register and all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm giving you.
Yep.
So yeah, this is our website, Py-Volution. You can visit it, and our team. You can register from here. There is a register link provided on Python
Okay, so
101.
there is Python and there is Ruby as well. And I want Saurabh to speak few lines about the Ruby programming language and the class he will conduct. Saurabh, can you please open your mic and say a few words about the Ruby programming language and why should they learn it?
Hello, am I audible?
Hello?
Yes, you are.
You're audible.
Okay, so actually, I am browsing from my desktop and I have to join from my laptop to speak. Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow we have a Ruby programming workshop like this where I will show you the practical examples, how Ruby works and what is Ruby. I will be also showing you some of the gems, Ruby gems, as we call, right? So yeah, and the games I have written and stuff. Not about my games. I have written a lot of games that were shown in the Los Angeles Ruby conference in 2018, right? So in the meantime, in after 2018, I haven't written any lot of games. I was working with Ruby on Rails and stuff, the backend server side stuff and so on. So I have a lot of games written earlier. They are very, very eye candy and user friendly. So tomorrow we will have a class on Ruby and I'll be showing those stuff. And that will be probably very interesting. And if you are interested, you can also join
Yeah,
the
you can
next classes, right?
actually, the thing is that tomorrow is in which college, Saurabh?
Sorry again.
কোন college আছে দাদা?
I think
I
Techno
guess.
India Hooghly.
Okay, so tomorrow is the class in Techno India Hooghly, and we are also going to conduct in your college very soon. So don't worry about it. And why should you learn Ruby? Let Saurabh explain why Ruby is helpful in 2021. Please, Saurabh.
Yeah, so actually Ruby is very, very natural. For example, if you want a loop, if you want to say hello world 5 times, you will write 5 times and print hello world. It will just print 5 times hello world, right? So it's even easier than Python. And in fact, it is quite faster. It is the fastest interpreted language. Also, you can write C with Ruby. It's called like Python. You can write C Ruby and you have to write C then, and you will get a lot of speed, right? So you will just get native computers, your system speed. So you can also do stuff like you can write games. You can also have, it is in Python, it's called TK-inter. In Ruby, it's called Smalltalk, TCL-TK, right? So it's TCL-TK. And also Ruby is the, Ruby along with Smalltalk, the only pure object-oriented programming language. Ruby is a pure object-oriented programming language. There are no data types. Everything is an object, like one, for example, or maybe a string. They all are objects. There is no function, there is method calls and so on. It's super exciting and it's super beginner friendly, right? So anybody can learn Ruby and don't have to worry about things like it doesn't have function. You can also use a method, right? So it's just like Python, and it will probably be very, very helpful, and it will definitely boost your productivity.
Okay, so that was it. So now we are concluding session. You can so Siddhartha has already told you about the registration link and all. You can register here. This is the link of our website. Till then, goodbye. See you guys soon. Okay, we will be conducting another workshop. In fact, another 2 workshops. One workshop will be conducted by Saurabh, and another workshop will be conducted by Siddhartha, which will be on stock markets because he's an expert on stock markets and all that finance stuff. So he will conduct it, and we will be soon meeting once again, guys. We hope to see you in those workshops. So, how did you like the session? Please say in the comment box. How did you like the session? Did you enjoy the session? You can open your mic and say it. You can open your mic and say it. This is the last time I am asking. Please.
Sir, great.
Thank you so much. And anyone
Okay.
else?
এবারে সবাই বল রে, চলে যাবো আমরা, এবারে সবাই বল
এই তো চলে যাবো, বল কেমন লাগলো সবার? ওকে, মেঘাশ্রী, গ্রেট। ওকে
Okay, thank you so much all.
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। এবারে আস্তে আস্তে সবাই লিভ করতে পারো।
Thank you,
আস্তে
sir.
আস্তে লিভ করো। Okay, thank you. It was a really lovely session. We are glad to be here. It was a great amazing experience.
And thank you,
so much.
ma'am.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Please leave from your side.